What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugai. And today I'm going to take a look ahead to this, tomorrow's actually NFC Wildcard matchup, as you have the number 2 seed San Francisco 49ers hosting the number 7 seed Seattle Seahawks. Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, I'm going to have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me. Whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you're a Madden player on Xbox One, I'll have my Xbox One gamer tag in the description box also. All right, man. Wild card weekend is finally here. As an Eagles fan, I'm glad we're not participating in this thing because of a bye. But one of the matchups is on the 49ers and the Seahawks. First, looking at the 49ers, they come in, I think, with a 13-4 record. Their last game, they took apart the Arizona Cardinals, 38-13. Elijah Mitchell, who is from Iraq, Louisiana, which is not far from where I'm from. So shout out to him for that. He had 2 touchdowns in the game. George Kittle had 2 touchdowns. Tashawn Gibson had 2 interceptions, and they just took them apart, man. Very, very good looking team with a very good looking roster. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is exceeding everybody's odds, up to this point. And then last week you look at the Seattle Seahawks, who had everything basically go their way last week. They beat the Los Angeles Rams. I think it was 19-16 in overtime. Geno Smith, he threw a couple of interceptions, but he shook that off and led to some big drives at the end. Kenneth Walker looked pretty good running the ball. Tyler Lockett caught a beautiful touchdown pass from Geno Smith. And then, Bruce Irvin, the old wily veteran, gets a couple of sacks, and Quandre Diggs, the Pro Bowler, gets the big interception in overtime. Seattle drives it, and Myers, after doinking a field goal at the end of regulation, knocks one through in overtime. But that combined with the Detroit Lions going over the Lambeau Field and knocking off the Green Bay Packers, who quite honestly everybody thought would be playing the 49ers this week. But here we are. The Seahawks get the 49ers again for a third time, yo. Their last meeting, the Seahawks played well defensively for the most part, holding the 49ers to 21 points, but they struggled offensively, especially to block Nick Bosa, who I think will end up being the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, as he had a couple of sacks in that game. George Kittle, was big in that game, also 2 touchdowns. And they just played great, outstanding defensively. Looking at the 49ers, man, like I said, they're a loaded roster. On that offensive line, they got future Hall of Famer Trent Williams. Brock Purdy is the 3rd quarterback they've used this season, but they don't miss a beat with him. As a matter of fact, they may be even better with him than they were with the small sample size of Trey Lance and with Jimmy Garoppolo. On the backfield, you got Christian McCaffrey, who's one of the better backs in the league. I've mentioned homegrown Iraq, Louisiana native Elijah Mitchell. George Kittle, one of the better tight ends in the league, if not the most complete tight end in the league. In the receiving core with Deebo Samuel back healthy, Brandon Ayuk, who also has over 1,000 yards, Jawan Jennings, Ray McLeod, who has a lot of speed. They loaded. I mean, there's no other way to put it. They loaded. Then defensively, like I said, I think Nick Bosa will win the Defensive Player of the Year. Fred Warner, who's always a perennial Pro Bowler. And they got guys like Tashawn Gibson up there in the secondary. Looking at Seattle, they've exceeded all expectations. I thought Pete Carroll did an amazing job this year. They was expected to be one of the worst teams in the league, but they still had some talent on the team, especially offensively. And Geno Smith revived his career. He's a Pro Bowler this year. He was one of the league leads in passer rating, if not the lead quarterback in passer rating. Kenneth Walker, the rookie running back, has been outstanding. And you know what you get out of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, one of the better wide receiver duos in the league. Noah Fant, who came in from Denver, has been silent. Actually caught a touchdown the last time these two played in Seattle. And then defensively, you got guys like Bruce Irvin, who just came along late in the year, but was actually making an impact. And in the secondary, you got Quandre Diggs, and you got a guy who may become NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, and Tyree Woolen, who's had an outstanding year. Looking at the matchups, for the 49ers on offense against the Seahawks defense, for the 49ers offense, they got to do what they do. They got to run the football, man. Run the football, shorten the game, get out of town. For the Seahawks, they got to find a way to create turnovers, fumbles, tip balls, something like that to try to hang around in this game and hope that the young quarterback starts to finally feel the pressure of trying to win an NFL game. Though he's had the game like the Raiders game. He's had some tough games, but staying in a playoff situation. Then on the other side of the ball with the 49ers defense is just getting after Geno Smith, like they did last time. They get after them, they should have a pretty easy time in this. And for the Seahawks, it's protecting Geno Smith. I think the Seahawks could actually have some success with their wide receivers throwing the ball if Geno has time to throw the ball. That's the biggest key. All in all, man, but when you look at this matchup, the 49ers honestly should win this game. They're more talented. I mean, they're at home, they're more talented, and they got bigger fish to fry. Seattle, I think, regardless of what happened tomorrow, they've had an outstanding year, and they also get the third pick in the draft from Denver. So they completely won that Russell Wilson trade this year. But with that being said, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content on my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly, Eagles, fly.